Comic book. Ink. Noise presents. They say this city never sleeps. The Movement. Episode 4. In the morning, it's louder now, with sound, but with motion. The truth is a battleground. Posters are slapped over other posters. Codes are sprayed on walls. New messages covering old ones. A dead signal symbol, once a sign of rebellion, is half painted over with a new slogan. Release Ev. The movement is changing. In front of City Hall, a man live streams himself, yelling into his phone. He shouts, "They can't stop the signal." Nearby, someone else monetizes the chaos, selling dead signal hoodies from a folding table. Movements don't just spread, they splinter. They get co-opted. They become merchandise. Across the street, Lena watches it all, who'd pulled up unseen. She's the ghost who started this, and now it's a wildfire she can't control. A young woman spots her, a gasp of recognition. That's her. But Lena doesn't stop. She keeps moving, a shadow in her own revolution. Stories don't die. They evolve. A massive screen on a skyscraper scrolls the latest headline. Dead signal founder remains at large. The world wants a face, a leader, a target. Meanwhile, in a sleek, expensive apartment, Eli Ward paces in front of his own camera rig. A different kind of revolutionary. He's buzzing with an energy that's part passion, part performance. "We don't wait for permission," he declares, pointing dramatically at a screen showing protests erupting across the city. "This is the people's voice." His chat floods with emojis and donations. He glances off camera at an assistant. "Numbers?" he asks. The assistant gives him a thumbs up. Eli grins. "Let's push it harder." He's not leading a movement, he's riding a wave. In a borrowed car, engine off, Lena watches Eli's stream on her phone. "He's not one of us," she murmurs. "He's a vulture, feeding on the chaos she unleashed." She scrubs back through his feed, looking for something, anything. Then she sees it, for a single frame, during a digital glitch. A familiar lattice watermark flashes on the screen, the same watermark from the corporate servers she hacked. She exhales sharply, or maybe he is. The city is a tapestry of protest and opportunity. When everything is a signal, nothing is. This is how movements are supposed to begin, right? In cramped community center basements, on folding chairs, with people gathered in tense excitement. Lena stands at the back, listening. A man at the front speaks passionately. "We need a unified message, a single demand." But someone interrupts. Or we could just tear it all down. The room erupts into an argument. Factions form, voices rise, and the shared purpose dissolves into personal grievances. Lena steps forward. A silence spreads through the room as people recognize her. One woman speaks with reverence. "You started all of this." Lena shakes her head, her voice firm. "I exposed a crime. You started this." A man scoffs. "We don't need a leader who hides in the shadows." Lena meets his stare, her gaze unwavering. "Then don't follow me. Lead yourselves." The tension in the room sharpens, a blade ready to cut either way. Pressure makes us who we are. Detective Marasato knows this. She sits in her car outside a hospital, watching her sister and niece through the window. A moment of peace in a world that offers none. Her phone vibrates. An unknown number. The text is simple. "Still digging. Detective." She deletes it without a second thought and starts the car. Her voice is low, a promise to herself. "Good. Let them watch. Where you've been shouldn't define where you're going." Jack Morrow sits in a room that's too clean, too sterile. A civic security logo hangs on the wall. Two executives sit across from him, their smiles rehearsed and empty. One slides a tablet across the table. "Public sentiment is shifting," the executive says. The screen shows mock headlines. "Disgraced journalist seeks atonement." A redemption story. Jack studies the screen, his face unreadable. "And Lena Vell?" he asks. The executives exchange a quick, practiced glance. She won't be a problem for much longer. Lena exits the basement meeting. the frustration, a bitter taste in her mouth. Her secure line rings. "Saint," she answers, walking fast. The movement's splintering. It's eating itself alive. Saint's synthesized voice comes through, calm as ever. "That's the point, Lena. Chaos is the goal." Lena stops in her tracks. "Then tell me whose goal it is." From a hidden vantage point, Saint watches the city through 1,000 digital eyes. Feeds from traffic cams, security systems, and live streams fill the screen. The machine is the message. Images of Eli Ward are overlaid on the chaos. "The system isn't breaking," Saint explains. "It's recalibrating." Lena clenches her jaw. He's working for them. Or, Saint's voice counters. Controlling him is the next phase of their plan. A silence hangs between them, heavy with implication. Suddenly, a news alert blasts across every phone in the city. Explosion near City Hall. On the screens, smoke billows between buildings. Protesters scatter in panic. Lena watches the footage load. A cold dread creeping into her veins. Eli Ward is already live, the chaos perfectly framed behind him. Sirens wailing. "This is what happens when they ignore us," he screams into the camera. "This is their fault." His chat explodes with rage, fear, and calls for retaliation. A breaking news cheer-in slides across the bottom of the screen. Dead signal claims responsibility. Lena watches, horrified. "No, we wouldn't." Then, the broadcast cuts to a new piece of evidence. A leaked audio clip, and it's Lena's voice, twisted and distorted, but unmistakably hers. Sometimes, the recording says, a fire is the only way to clear the path. Lena drops her phone. They didn't just hijack her movement, they hijacked her voice. Detective Sato watches the same broadcast from her car. She rewinds the audio clip, listening again and again. Her eyes narrow. That cadence, that slight pause, it's wrong. That's not her. She pulls over and makes a call. "Get me everything you have on Lena Vale's last known location. Now." Lena ducks into a dark alley, her own phone pressed to her ear. It's a number she never thought she'd call. "They're framing me," she says, her voice tight. On the other end, Marasato's reply is immediate. "I know." Lena exhales. A breath of pure surprise. "You trust me?" "No," Mara says. "I trust patterns, and this one's too perfect." There's a pause. "You need to disappear." For real this time. In his pristine room, Jack watches the chaos unfold on a muted screen. An executive enters, looking pleased. "The public wants order," he says. "They're begging for it." Jack looks up slowly, his eyes hollow. "From who?" The executive smiles. "From a reformed voice of reason. From you." Jack turns away from the screen, away from the lie they want him to become. They always give you a cage you can call home. Lena changes clothes in a public restroom, ditching anything that could identify her. On a small TV mounted in the corner, her face is plastered across the screen, the word suspect stamped over it in red. Someone in the restroom points at the screen. Lena lowers her head and slips out before anyone can look too closely. Her secure phone buzzes. It's Saint. They're preparing the next stage. In a quiet, dark control room, Director Rourke stands before the noise engine's interface, serene amidst the digital storm he has created. "Chaos precedes control," he says to an assistant. The assistant hesitates. "Sir, the public's response is volatile." Rourke nods, a faint, knowing smile on his face. That's when they accept guidance, initiate narrative lock. The screens around them pulse with a soft, ominous light. On millions of phones, Eli Ward's live stream suddenly glitches, his face frozen in a mask of manufactured rage. When the feed resumes, his tone is different, calmer, scripted. "We need to stop this madness," he says, his eyes wide with feigned sincerity. This violence is not the answer. Viewers flood the chat with confusion. Watching from the shadows, Lena is stunned. They got to him. Saint's voice is quiet in her ear. Or they're letting him think he got away. Mara meets Lena in the echoing silence of an underground parking structure. The air is cold, thick with distrust. If we don't expose this now, the whole city will burn. Mara says, handing over a data drive. Lena gives her one in return. It already is, she replies. We're just trying to salvage the ashes. Under the watchful eyes of the civic security's executives, Jack signs a document. The words on the page are simple. Voluntary, protective custody. He pauses, the pen hovering over the signature line. He thinks of Lena, out there, fighting a war he helped start. Then, he signs his name. Choice always has a price. A city-wide alert goes out. Exclusive interview tonight, Jack Moreau speaks. From a rooftop, Lena watches the message flash across the city's screens. They're turning him into a weapon against me, she says. Saint's voice replies, a chilling premonition. Or into the martyr they need. Rourke watches the final preparations. He'll deliver the message perfectly, he says. An analyst hesitates. And Lena Vale. Rourke smiles faintly. She radicalize. She become the monster everyone fears, and then we'll offer them the cure. Alone, in a new hiding place. Leanna sifts through the data Mara gave her. One file is highlighted. Noise, engine, narrative, protocols. She opens it and begins to read. Her expression changes from focus to shock, to cold, hard resolve. Movements don't save the world. Stories do. End of issue 4.